I found myself inside a store, and they have a Studio Ghibli pop-up right now. Well, very interesting considering I'll be at the museum Thursday, so that's cool. Let's check out this store. I think this girl just tripped on a step. I've already spent $5. Got nothing. The quest continues. I think it's time. Oh, thanks. $100 again. Jesus.
A few moments later.
My God. Okay. I'm coming back for that. That's a BS, but that's how these games get you. The last time I played one of these, it was a Hatsune Miku thing. Can't do that one. And it cost me like the amount of the actual thing probably just to win it. Victory will be mine though. What, $6? $10? So, we'll find out. Alright, so I am back at the temporary homestead, as you guys can see. Decided to throw on the hat because I realized like I'm wearing it very sporadically, but I brought it, so I was like, I might as well actually use it, at least while I'm here, because I'm not actually going to take it anywhere. I might, if I go back, which I am, if I go back to Harajuku, I'll probably wear my hat there. If I go back to the Kawaii Cafe, I'll probably wear my hat there. But yeah, I was like, I haven't really been wearing. I've been wearing my Resident Evil hat all day. Super random. I forgot to mention it. I ran into someone who was wearing a Resident Evil jacket. Like, he saw me and he was like, hey, like, he didn't speak English, but he was like he pointed on his jacket. He had like all the different symbols. So it was like stars is on the right. I saw like on the chest piece it said like BSAA, which is one of the other organizations. And he's like, hey, like he did that. And I was like, nice. And so I thought that was funny. Like, his friend was there and his friend just started laughing. It was like, he was probably like, God, you got both are just huge nerds. But I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, I'm redeemed after seeing the guy in the umbrella sweatshirt. I was like, I have my hat on, I have my shirt on, and I was like, Resident Evil. So I thought that was really cool. I forgot to mention that happened like super early. It actually happened, I think it was right after I got to the pop-up store, or it was a little while after I left there, but it was between the pop-up store and the arcade. But that happened, and I forgot to mention it earlier. But just wanted to do that. But didn't get to record in there, because they didn't allow for recording. So when I actually went to get more change after going to the machine, the lady was like, no video. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. So I didn't get to record like any of my extra time in there. I stayed on the floor. The whole point of me going there was because of the VR thing. I didn't even go because I was playing all the other games on the first floor for a super long time. But I did actually win. So, victory for Stewis. Don't know how much time it really took me. It could have been, whatever. I forgot what title card I made. I don't remember. I have something I stole from YouTube, from the SpongeBob thing. But whatever it is, I won this My Hero Academia thing. What are you, a towel? Are you a towel? What are you? I don't know what this is. It's got pictures of characters, so whatever. And plus, it's My Hero Academia, which, that's just good. That's a good show. Let's see. I think it's a towel. No. Is this a towel? I think it's a towel. It's like a really soft. It's soft. I like that. I have the villain one. Okay, so what's kind of unfortunate is I thought A was like side A and B was side B. It's versions A and B. So I was like, oh, okay, that sucks. So I thought it was a cool double-sided towel, and I would have much rather had the heroes than the villains. Personally speaking, I just think they're better. Plus, I like the color design. I think the color's way cooler on the A, mostly because of the fact that it's 5 colors instead of 4. Plus, all the colors are quite different. Like, it's really clear. It's like blue, blue, pink, purple. So it was like the shades are quite similar compared to the hero version. But I did actually win. Don't remember. I you play those machines. I mean, heck, if you think the ones in the U.S. are a scam, huh. No, these are a scam. Those are like insane. So ended up winning that. I tried to get. I can't even remember the name. It was something that I looked it up to see. It was another like limited Japan only type of thing. The Sumiko Garashi. It was like a limited edition water bottle set. So they had one that was like black and white, and then the one I was going for was like the color one. It looked super cool. I want to say I was close, but I was trying. I feel like it's a lot harder to do heavier items than it is lighter items. And just the way it was set up, it was so tough. Like I was getting it, and it's funny. Like the way they set those things up is perfect. But they had it, and it would always like I could lift it up, and it would drop back down, but it wouldn't drop enough to like really shift the weight. So it would kind of drop, and it would move like the tiniest little bit. And I was like, I could tell it's moving, but it moves so so insignificantly. It just took too long. So I kind of gave up on that one, and I went around a little bit. I went back to the little Kirby thing, which I don't think I actually recorded that. That was like the first thing I went in for. Tiny little thing. It was just 100 yen, and you could try to pick up the little Kirbys. And I wanted to get one because there's like a little Kirby. There's a couple of them. One was like regular Kirby smiling. One was Kirby with the wand, the star wand. One was him like blown up like he's flying. And then the other one was him like on the warp star. And I was like, that one looks super cool. And I went for that, and it seemed like it was easy to get too. I feel like out of all of them, that's probably still the easiest one to get, just because the base of the star is, it's got all the points and the angles, and so as long as you get it in there, you can pick it up. And I did it a couple of times. Like when I went there the first time, I think I tried it twice, couldn't get it, and that's when I started going around. And then I went back, and there were some people playing the other one next to me, and I was so close. I picked that thing up 2 separate times. And it moved, and like I think the first time it was the classic where like it hit the top, so it shook like the tiniest little bit, and it dropped back down. And that second time, it picked it up, and it was like, and it was like just like it's 2 centimeters or something before that square, that plastic little beautiful opening. It was just like, and it just dropped, and it dropped on top of something else too. And I was just like, man, I was like right there, and I wanted. It just looks cool. It's a tiny little thing, so. Probably go back and give it another shot just because I just think it's a cool little, tiny little figure. But sadly, that did not end up panning out. But I did end up getting something else. I got a Ditto. Nice plushy Ditto. So this is awesome. So it was either Ditto or Snorlax. And they were in 2 separate machines. I didn't get to like choose which one. So I was like, all right, I have to pick which machine I kind of want to go for. And I was like, as much as I love Snorlax, probably my second favorite Pokemon after Blastoise. Maybe my third favorite, because I do love Gyarados. Like, just visually, Gyarados is amazing. So, might be my third favorite, but I have a lot of, like, Snorlax. Well, I have 2 Snorlax things. I have, my little, like, Stitch hat that I've worn in, like, maybe 1 or 2 other videos. And then I also bought, like, a Snorlax terrarium, a little thing from a little con that I went to a while ago. So I was like, you know what, I got enough Snorlax stuff. I even have a Snorlax t-shirt. It's like him sleeping on the Nike sign, and it says, just don't do it. So I got some Snorlax stuff. Like, I love Snorlax for what he embodies in laziness, so I like Snorlax. So I was like, you know what, I'll go for Ditto, because I already got some Snorlax stuff. And I tried, and I finally got it. Probably the same thing as with the towel. Probably went like way beyond what it's actually worth value-wise. But this one, I at least felt like I was getting somewhere just looking at it. And this was like the super rigged one where it's like actually the 2 little clips on the plastic. Those are the worst things in the universe. Like, you can just see them. Unfortunately, I was able to see it. Like, the way I was doing it, I could see that it was like I basically spun it, and that's all I had to do. I was like, okay, I know I can get this thing because I was picking at it, and it didn't take me too long to actually do it. I think technically I probably spent like $15, $20 just on this. So close range, because I was only putting like the 500 yen coins in, so probably spent what it would, what you would normally be charged for it. And this is actually like, now that I've actually like messed with it, because when I took it out, I just put it right in the bag. But it's like really firm. It's like a nice thickness, so that's good. I like that. But yeah, this one was oddly easy. I was like, okay, I had it spinning. I could just see it like just on that little bit of plastic, and the way it's just, it taunts you just looking at that thing. I'm like, there's this thin layer of rubber that they put on the metal spike, and then they just have like the little things on top, like the little plastic, little two hook deal, and I could just see it, and just the way it was there, and I was like, okay, I'm spinning it. I can see that it's spinning, and then once it spun, it was probably, it was just hanging on, by a hair. It was just barely there. So I was like, all right, now I have to change it up. Now that I've basically spun it, because it was like this sideways, and I pretty much spun it to like, it was pretty much, going that way. So it was like right about here. And so that thing is kind of just in line. It's like hanging off by a hair. And I was like, all right, I have to change my formula up just a little bit. And it was like, I either need to tap the front, which is like sticking off from the stick, like going that way, or I go like all the way to the back and then try to push it and like kind of shift it back and forth. And I think ultimately I went with going for the front and just pushing it even further. And so eventually it just dropped straight down. And I was like, yes. So I got 2 items. So that is pretty cool. Got my towel, my villain towel. Now that I know, would have been way cooler to get the hero one. I had no idea. But either way, I want it, so that's cool. And I do like Dobby. Dobby's awesome. He's got fire powers, and fire powers always just look freaking sweet. Like in anime, fire powers are just like visually some of the best. It's just fire. Like it just looks so cool. Plus he uses blue flame, so that's always sweeter too, because blue's my favorite color. And technically, blue flames are hotter, so that means that he's even stronger. That's just a lesson I know from life. Plus Avatar: The Last Airbender. But yeah, 2 items. Tried to go for 4. So 50% ain't that shabby. Really wish I got that Kirby. I was it was just insanely close. Like, so close. But that's what happened. After that, I left. That was it. That's all I did. And I was there for a minute. Just going around using up a bunch of money. I was legitimately like, okay, it's Monday, and I was like, how much money do I have left? I was already freaking out about it, but I'm actually okay. I realize now I haven't actually bought that much stuff. Like pretty much everything that I'm doing is already paid for. So everything that I have on me is strictly for food, which is insanely cheap. Or little souvenirs here and there. So it's okay to spend. I basically spent like $40 just to get like 2 items, and that was it. So it was like, okay, it's not too bad. Everything's fine. I paid like, I think it was like 700 yen when I went to the Kawaii Cafe for like the extra stuff. So that was fine. That was like $8. So an extra $8 for what I already spent to get the drinks and stuff like that, which is already like $30. So technically, I spent like a little bit extra there, because everything I got was like the upgraded version and stuff. But that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. But it was good. It's been good so far. I may or may not meet up with my friends. I told them to let me know what they were doing, because they were actually at the Pokemon Center at Tokyo Station, and they're going to Akihabara later. And it's 4:42. I was about to say 4:52. So it's only 4:42. So it's actually still fairly early in the day, technically speaking. So I'll hopefully be able to meet up with them. I didn't realize that they were leaving tomorrow. I probably would have like met up with them earlier, or actually met up with them yesterday if I knew that this was like their last day. So I probably would have done that if I'd known. But hopefully, I said like, hey, just keep me updated. So in Akihabara I haven't been to yet at all anyway, so I definitely want to go there, because Super Potato's there. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I kind of want to go, but as soon as I got these, I was like, I would hate to walk around all day and have these 2 bags on me, and I might actually end up finding something that I want to buy. So I'm walking around all day with like 3 bags on me plus my backpack and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think that's really gonna work. So I was just like, nope. I had already taken my hoodie off. My hoodie was in my backpack for most of the way back here until it was like a little bit cooler. So then I popped it on, but for the most part, I was like, all right, it's warm. I took my hoodie off and had it in my backpack, and then once I got those, I was like, I think I can take a break. I'll head back here, and then I'll shoot back out, and hopefully get in touch with them, meet up with them a little bit later. But for now, do a little recon, check out a couple extra things. I never did end up asking anyone at the Kawaii Cafe about the night performance. I actually completely forgot to ask when I was like going through and actually like leaving out and getting the last little bit of footage. Totally forgot to even ask anybody like, oh, you know, what's the deal with the night show stuff. So unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen unless I just go tomorrow and I just see what happens, which I might actually do that just to at least, you know, make an attempt to get in there and see like, you know, the special geisha show. So I would love to do that. So we'll see how that ends up panning out tomorrow. But for now, like I said, I'm kind of just here. I also bought water for like the first time in Japan. I was at the vending machine. I had so much change from going to the being at the arcade. I was like, I have so many freaking 10 yen coins, and that's just in general, like from a bunch of stuff actually. And I was like, there's nothing I can do with any of these because every time I pay for stuff, it always comes out to so much. It's like, well, I'll just use a bill instead, or I'll just use 100 yen coins because it comes out like almost perfect. And so I was like, yeah, I got to get rid of these things. I bought like 4 waters just to get rid of like all the 10 yen coins that I had because I was like, it's just too much. It's just ridiculous. So bought like 3 regular waters. Mistakenly bought a sparkling water. I just hit the wrong one because I was just throwing the coins, and I was like, just get rid of all these coins. And I was just like, boom, and it dropped out, and I was like, crap, I hit the wrong one because I do not like sparkling water. But got me some classic Crystal Geyser water. Refresh myself. Relax with Ditto. Relax with my villain's towel. Recharge my Wi-Fi, which actually went out. I think it literally went out as I was walking, because when I got back, my phone connected to like the lobby Wi-Fi, and I was like, huh, it must have gone out. And I checked and it was dead. I was like, well, that's interesting timing. I have the battery pack anyway, so it's not like I would have been screwed. But I was like, well, that's some crazy coincidental timing. So don't even have to use my battery pack just yet. Finished off another Coke Peach Coke. I had that on me like all day. Like it was warm by the time I actually finished it. Like I had some sips earlier when I bought it, and I think I bought it. Yeah, I literally bought it just to have like a snack. It was before I even went to the Kawaii Cafe, so that was in like, well, yeah, I got there at 11:30 something. So I left at 10:30 something, 10:40 something like that. So I got that at like 10 in the morning, and I legitimately just finished it like maybe 30 minutes ago before I got off at the last at my actual stop. So I had that thing on my, like, just in my backpack all day long, and I was just taking like tiny little sips. So 2 peach cokes down. Haven't been able to, well, I haven't really looked, but I know there's like a regular size version. Like you don't have to just get the tiny one. You can get like a full 20 ounce. I just haven't seen any. So if I decide to keep getting peach coke, which I may or may not do just for the sake of health, I might decide to go with like, hey, just stick to water. Plus it was cheap. It was 90 yen. So I was very happy with that. And I think the water was 90 yen and this is 120 or something like that. So I was like, yes, 90 yen is good. Cheaper, healthier as well. And I definitely need healthier. So probably going to stick with water for a minute. And I did have water. I had water when I had the Wagyu beef. They gave me a nope, that wasn't Wagyu. I had water this morning. Kawaii Cafe. They gave me a glass of water. I thought it was sparkling water or something else. It looked like Sprite because the glass actually has the fake bubbles in it. So I was like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, wait, it's just water. It's just the glass had the bubbles. So I thought that was actually a random thing, but I thought that was cool. But I'm going to take a little break, see what happens. I'm still thinking, every time I do this, I'm like, man, what are any of these videos even going to look like? Because I've taken so much footage. I do these little intermittent things, like my little mini rambling moments, I guess, just kind of recapping little moments of the day. It's like, where am I going to fit any of this crap in? I have no idea whatsoever. I don't know how any of these videos are going to play out, and I won't know probably until next week. I don't think I'm going to do like any real editing. That's another thing. I have to get a lot of the footage off of my laptop. I tried earlier, and I think I got like maybe 4 or 5 videos. That, and that was pretty much it, and I had to leave because it would have taken like an extra 15 minutes for the rest of the footage to get downloaded to my laptop, and I would have missed my train, and that would have made me super late since I was already late to the Kawaii Cafe. I probably wouldn't have gotten there. I probably been like I would have been like 15 minutes late, if not more, probably. So I had to get rid of all the footage off of my off of my camera onto my laptop, and then I can have clear space. Like, it's still fine. I think I still have like 2 hours or over 2 hours, something like that. Probably be like an hour and a half if I did 4K, which I'm gonna do in 4K until the Robot Cafe comes up again. So until then, it's still back to normal 30 frames per second. 1080p, it's 30 frames per second no matter what. But classic 1080p. I'm feeling sleepy now. Like now that I've sat down and I'm not walking, I'm like, starting to get like my eyes are just getting droopy, and I'm like, I could take a nap. I think I'd be okay with that. But for now, gonna get this footage off. Gonna watch some random YouTube videos as I do that. I was gonna say lay down, but this thing is so small. I'm too big to like lay sideways on this and even possibly fall asleep. I would have to lay in the bed to fall asleep. But that's what's happening now. And then possibly Akihabara a little bit later. Might check out Super Potato if I have time, which I should, depending on when I leave here, because they don't close until 8. So should have time to check that out, and all the other fancy schmancy things that I still have yet to see. But I'm having a good time. I'm tired. Every time I get tired, I'm like super tired. And I'm still trying to figure out. Also, I never mentioned this. Here's another random thing. I woke up at like, oh man, what time did I get? I think I woke up at like almost 6 in the morning today. And I thought that was really, really weird because I thought it was good on my schedule. And I went to sleep at maybe 10 or something like that. And technically, 10 to 6 would be 8 hours. But I was like, there's no reason for that to be the case. Like when I woke up, I was just like, yeah, this sucks. I don't want to be up this early. And so I think that's why, like, now that I've officially sat down, it's like, okay, sleepy, because I'm close to having been up for 12 hours already, plus, all the walking around and stuff. Not to mention the fact that my dad called me at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but he called me like in the middle of the night, and I forgot what he said because I was so tired. Like I should have just left my phone on silent. I feel like I said that already. I feel like I mentioned the story, but just in case, he called me in the middle of the night and woke me up, and I was just like, "Yeah, no, I'm asleep." And he was like, "Oh," like he didn't really like I don't think he even tried to know the time difference. I think he thought it was like a couple hours or something. I don't remember what time it was. I didn't even look at what time it was. But he called. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, but I think he FaceTimed me again. But all I can really remember is I was looking straight down into the bed, and I was just like, "Yep." And like I just kept answering his questions, and my head was still like face down because I was so tired. And I was just like, "Yep, like no, it's late." Okay, and then I went back to sleep. I don't know if I think I rolled back over, and I was already asleep again. But that's all I remember from that call. Like I had a glimpse of the phone. It was insanely bright, and I think that was another reason I was looking straight down because it hurt my eyes. And I was just like, nope, it's super late actually. You woke me up, and then I went back to sleep because I think it was like 4 in the morning or something like that, and I think he thought it was like 6 p.m. or something, which I don't know what time he thought it was, because if it was 4 in the morning, then that would mean it was like 5 o'clock there. So I don't know what time he thought it was. Like even if he did call it, I don't know. I think he thought it was like in the afternoon. I think he might have thought it was like almost 24 hours ahead or something like that, instead of it just being 12. So I think he thought it was closer to like I'm just a day ahead of everybody, but instead it's only like technically I'm only half a day ahead. And so I think he thought it was closer to the full 24 hours. So I was like, oh, it's probably like a little bit earlier, like afternoon or something for him. And I was like, no, I'm dead tired. I was asleep. I was basically a ghost. I was already gone. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put my phone on silent now when I go to sleep, just in case that happens again. If anyone like mistakenly calls me because they're like, "Oh crap, I forgot the time difference," I think I'm gonna do that because that really messed me up when it actually happened. I was just like, "What is happening now?" But yeah, I'm feeling that sleepiness for sure. So gonna cut it here. Man, I don't know what the heck. I was like, should I do an outro? I don't know if this will be the end of the video. Even if it's the end of the day, I don't know how long I'm gonna make these videos. So I don't know. This might be the end. If it is, thank you for watching. If not, then there's gonna be another part. There's probably another part anyway. I mean, with all the footage I have, crap. I don't know. This is gonna be a really weird set of videos. I don't think I'm gonna do it by day. That's how I normally do my vlogs. It's like this day I did this, And it's like, instead, I think I'm just going to cut it up into little chunks of everything. Like, the Kawaii Cafe is probably going to be its own thing as a whole. And then this segment, what the heck would I put this with? I don't know. I guess the little stuff that I did. I don't know. Like, I think the special stuff will be its own thing. So the Kawaii Cafe, I think, will be its own separate video. And then, same with the Robot Cafe. I think that's going to be, like, its own video. And I just might have it separated from the vlog, like, special stuff. And then the vlog will just be me talking. So, I don't know. That might make for super dumb video. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm too tired to think about anything smart right now. So, thanks. If either way, thanks. It doesn't matter if this is even that. Thank you.